Well, we're here. And if you're listening, you might be wondering, okay, something sounds fishy, Paul. But if you're on video, if you're watching on YouTube, you see me I'm talking to the camera again. And if you've been watching this in the past, when I first started this podcast, it was video. It was all video. And then I went to audio because I found that it was a lot. It was too much because I had started You Are Gumbo YouTube channel, which I just did a video today or yesterday. It's going to come out probably the same day this is coming out. So lots to check. I did TikTok. I've been busy. Plus I do emails twice a week. I do a tarot reading, oracle reading for the week, and then I do usually one other email. I talk about mindset, spirituality. Anyway, check it out. Get on that list. It's good stuff. I kid you not. My mom likes it. No, it's really good. Check out the link. You can sign up to be part of the email community. I think we're about 200 people now. I know it's small, but it's getting bigger. It's so much fun. Anyway, back to this. Not that you care about the other stuff, but you should because it's very good. I'm caffeinated. Can you tell? So I'm trying this out. I changed my mind a lot, and I know that. And I used to beat myself up over that, but now that's just me, and I enjoy it. I love that I play around. So welcome to Seared Stories from the Stove podcast. If this is your first time, check out I've got another 51 episodes that you can chill and check out. You can do double speed. I wouldn't hold it against you if you did double speed, but I can talk quickly, so you might lose some context, but I'm okay with that. I listen to my voice messages at 1.5, 2, and on Voxer, sometimes 3, 4 times speed. It's a beautiful thing, technology. You can make with the loofah quickly. So anyway, welcome. I wanted to talk about something a little more serious. Let's dial it back. Let's dial back the jokey a little bit, Paulie. Right now, what's going on? I'm in Canada. There's been talk for some time now, for many months, about immigration. I know, I don't get political. I don't, you know me. But just stay with me. There's been a lot of talk here in Canada about immigration. In fact, they've started to not close the borders, but they've really restricted international students and things like that. It's already making an impact. Some schools post-secondary are closing. There's all sorts of, there's a lot of moving parts. But now, of course, in the States, there's been a lot of talk about closing borders. And it had me thinking, all of this had me thinking about all the really amazing people that I have worked with in the industry, in the hospitality industry. And I was doing some quick number checking before I did this. And in the hospitality industry, and that includes tourism, in North America, or at least in Canada and the US, it's anywhere, immigrants, internationals, foreigners, whatever you want to call it, just say immigrants, they make up anywhere between 25 and 35% of the workforce in those industries, in the hospitality and tourism. That is wild. And not just hospitality. I mean, you're talking construction, you're talking manufacturing and processing, all sorts of other spaces where you see a lot of non-domestic workers toiling away. And I think personally, closing everything off so tightly, it's, industry leaders are already saying that it's already a challenge to find domestic workers because the supply, the demand, it keeps rising, and there's not enough supply. One of the things that I see here, we have lots of bike lanes here in Toronto, and I'm a cyclist, so I see, and what I have passing by me, or you just see a lot when you're driving, are the food delivery, like the Uber and DoorDash, whatever. There's so many of them now. And a lot of them are, Southeast Asian and this and that, and you can hear people just chirping about it. But here's the thing. The demand is there. People are ordering online left, right, and center. Who's going to deliver it? We need people to deliver it. I don't care who it is, but the demand is there. But you can't want this stuff and then complain about who it is or, oh, look at them, And even me saying that, I just feel gross because I've worked with so many amazing people in restaurants, in hotels, and all sorts of. And what I love about Toronto is just a multicultural like space that it has always been. Even growing up, it has always been like this. And what I love, here primarily I would work with people from the Filipino community, the Sri Lankan community, from Bangladesh, from India, Pakistan, a lot of Middle Eastern, et cetera, et cetera. And what I love about work, what I always loved, is the perspective that they bring, the how they showcase their values, how they showed up as themselves, and just understanding their culture more. And a lot of times they would challenge me directly and indirectly in terms of like, what about this? Are you sure about that? Have you ever tried this? In different ways. And just seeing also how they function collectively has been inspiring and motivating and educational. And I wouldn't get that if the demographic wasn't so mixed up and varied. And I think we gain as a society with all different ideas and cultures and values. When you travel, people talk about culture shock. What that really is just it's your values culturally kind of bumping up against the values of the country you're visiting or living in or whatever. And it can be a bit jarring because you're used to things a certain way. Maybe you're coming from like in Canada and USA, it's very individualism, and you end up going to a place that's very collective, and it can throw you off. And there's different areas that they've studied that they should, with the different kind of values. Anyway, that's a whole different, that gets very technical and maybe a bit dry, but it is fascinating. And I think of all the food runners and dishwashers and room attendants and all those people working in laundry and people room service, et cetera, and just coming from all sorts of places. And it really does add to what we do in hospitality. Because in some ways, there's different ways of showing hospitality, different ways of coming to people, opening up your heart to them. Essentially, because I think so many times that hospitality, there's so many people that work in hospitality that are anything but hospitable. And so, but I found that in so many ways, being challenged and being shown through the different ways that people, culturally, etc. I thought it was so great. It was amazing. And the thought of closing that off and shutting that down, it kind of makes me sad. And I understand why there is talk of this. I do understand. But right now, again, the supply and the demand, it's so stretched. It's going to be a challenge. Another stat I read was half the restaurants here in Canada, half are owned by immigrants. And it just shows just that desire to grow and to build. You have people coming in here to build. Yes, there's probably a small component that are here to destroy or to divert or to, whatever it is. But the majority of people are here to build, and they help to build our infrastructure, and they help to build more of what we have. And I think it's just a shame that there's a lot of perspectives that want to shut that down. And it also makes me wonder about the industry itself. How many restaurants will close down? How many already hotels are doing the self-check-in, self-checkout? They have some of the robot things going on. They're asking people, do you really need to get those towels clean? They're really trying to cut costs because they're having a hard time finding people. They're having a hard time finding workers. And I can only imagine what's going to happen to a lot of restaurants, even the big one or big franchise and all that. They're going to start to disappear. And because of that, a lot of other people are going to lose their jobs. I don't have the answer. I'm just coming from the place of just having loved working with such a wide variety of people from a wide variety of countries and different cultures and, different languages and all that. At times, was it challenging? Yeah, maybe with a language barrier. And because of the cultural things, again, my values or, the way that we would do things here in Canada might be different from them. And so they had to kind of learn at the same time. I had to learn more about them as well. And that was me. I didn't have to. No one has to. Like this idea of like my country, that's bullshit. It's, we're here to learn from one another. And there's empathy involved in that. There's humility in being able to learn from one another. And I just feel like if we were to shut everything down and really retract and pull away, we're going to lose the opportunities to really grow as a society, as people, as individuals, as we connect with different walks of life. So I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what is going to happen, but I feel like we're at a crossroads, and that's up to people way out of my bandwidth to make those decisions. But I really hope that people are able to say, I think of my parents coming to Canada in 1969, just a bunch of kids, really, little me in one arm, and the other one's and they're working at a camera factory, if I'm not mistaken. Don't even know English. They learned Italian before because they lived in an Italian heavy area, again, multicultural space. But they've done so well, and they've added to the community, and they're beautiful people. And there's so many out there, so many beautiful folks out there, and I'm just so happy to share space with them. So what does that have to do with anything else? Nothing. We're just humans. We're just connecting. And, that's the reason I travel so much. I love seeing that's why most people travel. They want to go and see how other people connect and live and eat and speak and play. Because it's fun. It's different. And we get to have that in our workspaces, in the kitchens. So many of the things I learned from people who could easily be dismissed or easily be ignored. And many are. And I always felt, for me, just the way I connect with my team is just to get to know them. And I wonder how many of us, because of rhetoric and because of, whatever it is, social media, and we see such division, we lose that ability to really connect with other amazing human beings. And they lose out from learning from us. Because we're all just humans. We're all just these hearts, these meat sacks walking around. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. I don't have a conclusion. I didn't think that far ahead. But I just wanted to wish everyone well, and wherever you're from. Because in the end, we're all immigrants. I mean, the only people that can lay claim to any of this land are the indigenous. That's it. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but that's the truth. So we're all, at some point, our ancestors all came here. So let's not forget that. All right. Please join the email list. Check out You Are Gumbo. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Do the thing that will really help this grow. And if there's any questions or comments, drop them in the comments section. That's where comments go, right, Paul? Yes, correct. So drop any thoughts. And I'll see you next time. Maybe actually see you. So in the meantime, kitchen's closed. Now scram.